Carl, you will be a little bit unnerved about this. Have you seen the film Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
You know what happened there? Well, according to the Sun here, it says scientists are planning to clone mammoths for a theme park. Look at his face, look at that, he looks like a dog caught in the headlights of a car, he's terrified.
I love Carl.
He sprung to attention
Carl.
there.
Is that the best news you could have?
Man moths.
Right.
Yeah, man moths.
I
man
love
moths.
the fact that that's why he was so excited that they bred a man moth. What is this? Yeah, it's a human being that hides in your wardrobe and eats an entire jacket in a day.
Yeah.
What do you mean, man moths? Mammoths. Mammoth, the big hairy
Have you heard
cow
of a
from the
mammoth?
Ice Age. I mean, elephant.
You're not so excited about that, then? You can take or leave bringing back mammoths to life, but a man moth?
A man moth is a different matter. Oh, if we'd have never brought that up, he'd have gone and told someone now.
Yeah.
You know, they've bred an half man, half moth.
This
and
is
that's
what
how,
we
That's how
mean.
things start.
This is what we mean when you hear these ghost stories.
Are you slightly deaf? Is that it? When you hear these stories, you're slightly deaf. And his head was in the basket, and he went, "Count how many times I blink." Is it?
Carl, is English your first language? Are you actually foreign? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Should we speak
when we say
slower?
foreign, we mean not of this planet.
Yeah. Should we speak slower? Would that be a help to you?
No, go on. Next
What do you
one.
make of that?
Do you think that's good?
The
Do you think
idea
that's
of
good to bring back mammoths?
prehistoric animals.
These giant elephants.
They're slow, aren't they? It's not as if they're gonna, like, get out and run fast and they can't capture them.
They'd probably be a
like
fence, to be
elephants,
honest,
aren't
Carl. They'd probably be a fence.
they? No, but but you're asking it as if, like, oh, it could all go wrong, but it couldn't, could it?
Well,
Really?
but the point was about Jurassic Park is they thought it wouldn't go wrong, and they thought they had it all under control.
that was
and
Have you learned
dinosaurs.
nothing from Jurassic Park, Carl?
Dinosaurs would say, "Oh, think about it before you do it." But with a hairy elephant, it's not gonna.
Not a concern for you. Would you go along to see him? Would you be interested in that?
If it was in the area.
He's great, isn't he? I'd love a queue,
Nothing
right?
impresses
No,
him.
but what I'd like to do is Carl sitting like Yoda in a little cave, and I'd just like to see people like Tony Blair and, you know, Stephen Hawking in a queue, and they go and say, "Carl, got a bit of a problem."
Yeah,
And
thinking of cloning a man and a moth.
Yeah.
Problem? Not an issue. No, if I'm in the area, I might cruise around and have a look at it. Otherwise, just don't send it near my clothes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So it's just for a second.
What's
As the words "man moth" came into your head, how excited were you? I mean, were you both terrified and excited? Just for the moment when you thought that they'd cloned a man and a moth.
I pictured
What kind of face did he have? Did he have the moth's head, or was it a man's head?
just a little man head.
Right. What was his face? What did it look like?
He just was like a bit shocked.
Perplexed. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was like he'd been grafted onto the body of a moth without his consent.
And when he was asleep.
Yeah, he'd woken up.
He just went in to have a goiter removed,
Yeah.
and they said, "We've
He
replaced
woke
your
up with
goiter with the body of a giant moth."
Yeah.
Is that all right, Mr. Jenkins?
So he had the head of a little. Was it a little boy or a man?
little man,
Right. Okay.
and he's just bumping into a lamp.
Steve! We've just had a couple of people, Sarah and Claire, call up and wish us luck for the BAFTAs, but for some reason they want one of us to do an impression of Leslie Phillips.
Can't do it.
Doesn't
he say ding dong?
And hello and all that.
That's not bad.
But I want Carl to do it though.
Yeah. Go on, Carl.
Go on.
Hello,
Well done. Say ding dong.
ding dong.
Nice.
Yeah. Do we do any other impressions?
No.
Go.
Think of any.
Hello. Do that.
Hello.
Yeah.
You look like a ventriloquist dummy.
Hello.
Brilliant.
Oh, Carl.
Do My Name is Bond, James Bond, as though it was Sean
My
Connery.
name's Bond. James Bond. Do that. Go on.
My name's Bond.
No, do it as though you were doing an impression.
Sean.
So I'm trying to be Scottish.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, sort of.
Perhaps a bit more specific than that. Sean Connery.
My name's Bond.
Keep going.
My name's Bond, James Bond.
That's like Jimmy Stewart. It's not like this. This is the best fun. It's like having your very own Fisher-Price toy for 2 hours a week. It's great. Do Roger Moore. Do that.
Roger Moore.
Phyllis Pierce, Percy Sugden. I'm licensed to kill.
Anyway, she just said.
No, this is a great game.
No, that's
Yeah.
enough of
No,
that.
we'll come back to this another time.
Yeah,
maybe.
anything you want Carl to do.
What do you make of the real-life Mowgli who's surviving in a Transylvanian countryside? Apparently, I don't know much about this story.
I don't know.
You know Mowgli, he's the guy
He's
from
the
the
one-
Jungle Book.
Yeah.
A little kid that grew up with bears and animals and stuff. Apparently there's a real life one in Transylvania.
What were the things in Gremlins?
What were the what? Like, in Gremlins they were...
Wait. Okay, this is an example. This is what your girlfriend said. Think. What were the things in Gremlins called?
I can't remember.
Just, I mean, really...
It's something like that, isn't it?
No, wait. Just really think now, Carl. Just with everything you've ever... With all the brain power you've ever used, think what the things in Gremlins were called.
It's not there.
There's a clue here.
Oh, no.
Yeah!
They're not.
What?
Gremlins.
Yeah.
Play a record, Carl.
Have you got any other news there, Carl?
Well, you were just talking about, bird muck.
What a classy show this is.
Yeah.
I imagine someone just having a barbecue, tuned into this.
Yeah. Can you turn the radio off? He's talking about coming out of windows again, darling. It's putting me off my sausages.
No, what? I was walking down the street and this pigeon, sparrow, whatever, did its thing, and it landed on my ear, and I was like, oh, God. So, I thought, well, I'm not going to wipe it off.
Why not?
Because I don't want to get it on my hands, right? So I thought I'd leave it till I get home. So it was probably
So you went to work?
Oh, met some friends. Not about midnight.
Went on the pool.
So I was best man, so after the speeches. That is brilliant.
No, it was on there for, I don't know, half an hour or something like that.
Brilliant.
Get home and get
Did it not kind of slowly ooze down your neck?
No, it was fairly hard.
Right.
And, sort of corroded my ear.
What are you talking about?
Why did you leave it there, though? Why not just wipe it off with something? You can't. I couldn't walk round with.
Pop in a newsagent and buy some tissues.
But then I look stupid.
What? Where is the bird's muck on your ear?
Brilliant. They're all wearing that now.
But no, what is it they eat?
It's alkaline. No, it's really strongly alkaline, isn't it? Or is it acidic? I don't know. Maybe someone knows. Is bird muck acidic or alkaline? But it's corrosive, yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
Weird, isn't it?
It didn't seep into your brain.
Carl, tell Steve what you just told me when Steve was in the toilet then.
Right, you know, I'd just been away with my mum and dad and that. And one of the things I always like doing is having a good chat with my dad about stuff he got up to when he was a kid and that.
Yeah.
Right, because he got up to loads of stuff, and every time I see him, he tells me something, and I thought, it's like, why are you just telling me that now? It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I mean, to me, he's kind of like Ronnie Biggs or someone. He's just the most extraordinary kind of.
Well, this happened, right? I can't remember. There was a delay yesterday. There was problems on the Paddington line, and he was saying, "Oh, trains aren't what they used to be."
Sure.
He said, I was looking.
They used to be horses, didn't they?
Well, he was looking in the booklet, and it was saying, you can have your bags collected if you want, but it costs you £5.
Yeah.
So that's outrageous.
Sure, of course.
Right. So he said that's the problem with this country. We've got good with computers and that, but when it comes to getting service, it's gone out the window.
Yeah.
Right. So he said, when I worked on the trains, and he was going on like this, that and the other. So I said, I didn't know you worked on the trains. He said, yeah, when I was 18, right, it was his job to get the coal, right, and chuck it in the engine. Right. And one day he's in Grand Central Station in Manchester, which is now the GMX Centre.
Right.
Right. And that was the main station. And he was in there. The fella who should have been sort of driving the train, right, he said, I'm just nipping to the pub.
Sure.
So you just stay here, keep the engine topped up and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, all right.
For a quick getaway.
Yeah.
Right? So the fella goes in the pub, and my dad's in there, putting the coal on. He did his bacon and eggs on a little shovel.
Yeah, yeah.
And anyway, fella comes up. He says, right, can you move the train forward now?
Oh, blimey.
So he was like, oh. So he didn't want to say, the fella's in the pub, because he'd know, he'd say, what's he doing in the pub? He should be working, right? So he said, yeah, no problem, I'll sort it out. Right, so he puts it into gear, or whatever you do on them trains.
Sure,
right?
puts it into first, yeah.
Starts going forward. Now, people who don't know about trains, something that I learnt, is if you're carrying a load of coal or whatever on the back of it, they don't have brakes on each carriage, right? it's only the engine that has brakes on it. So when you pull the brakes on the engine, the whole weight of what it's pulling is pushing you forward.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't realise this though, because he's just used to cooking bacon and eggs and chucking coal in.
Of course,
the thing,
yeah.
right?
So you've got to slam the brakes on sooner than you would normally.
Yeah.
Well, you have to anticipate it, I suppose. Yeah.
But he didn't know that, so he's pulling in, he's thinking, right,
Well,
I'll put the brakes on now.
Yeah.
Right? Puts the brakes on, the train just keeps going, he's going, oh god, it's not stopping.
Sure.
It ploughs right through the signal box. Right? Loads of damage.
pulling the signal to know what to do.
Yeah.
Loads of damage done. Apparently, if it was today's money, it'd be about £3 to £4 million worth of damage. It shut the station off for 4 weeks. But he didn't lose his job. The fella had lost his job, the one who was in the pub.
Yeah.
He said the funny thing was, he said like £4 million worth of damage. He did his ankle, his wrist in. He had 3 weeks off sick and got paid. So it's brilliant. So
I love your family.
It's extraordinary. The Pilkington gene.
weird, isn't it?
I'd like to see a documentary following you and your family. You'd have to get the family involved.
No, the sort of stuff my dad goes on about. They'd never put it on telly.
Carl, okay, we've got to sort this out. We didn't meet again this week, and this is a shoddy show. I thought we had a sort of framework for it, but, do you know what I mean? No, I thought, Carl could sort of tell him what was going on. He doesn't know anything except watching telly. Late night telly on strange channels, like he gets all his information about the news on Anna Nova, and, I mean, I even tried to help him because, Monkey News last week was awful.
It wasn't Monkey News.
It wasn't Monkey News, it was, I can't remember it.
I've been away on holiday.
Brilliant. Yeah, and the Monkey News stops. I phoned him up there was a front cover, of the, I think it was the Telegraph one day this week, and, it was an ironic story, it was a fluff piece, but it was a funny story, it was about, a monkey in a zoo that had a ruck with its father, because it's adolescent, it was like the equivalent of like 16 to 18, and it had a fight with its father, and it escaped, it ran away, and it was like, an interesting story.
Yeah.
I phoned Carl up and said, "It's a Monkey News, a monkey has escaped from its cage after an argument with its father," and he said, "What was the argument about?" I mean, he thinks like Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
What was the argument about? Like, the zookeepers are going, "Oh, look, oh no, he's brought up his untidy room again." The father, "Oh, look, he's caught him smoking again." I mean, what do you mean, what was the argument about? They have fights. They have fights, and then it ran away.
His dad wanted him to go to college, but he just wants to quit and get a job.
Yeah, and he fancied a monkey in the other cage, and the father was saying, "She's not good enough for you." Oh.
So
what
we've
was
got
it
some Monkey
about?
News today?
Yeah, I got a little bit of Monkey News.
You got a little bit of Monkey News, right? You've redeemed yourself then this week.
We've got some stuff there and that. What else has been going on? You were, what are we going to talk about now? Sort of head's gone now.
Your head's
We've got
gone.
Monkey News.
Yeah.
And,
Why is your brain? Why is it? It seems like since we've come back on air, you have become dimmer. I mean, it is extraordinary. It's like BSC has kicked in.
Or
and
did
you
we
really
just
are.
forget? We just forgot.
Maybe
what-
it's been a long time. We've forgotten just how stupid he is.
Yeah.
It's proper. Do you mean it's the silences?
Yeah.
He forgets we're on the radio. There's just
I know,
dead air.
it's unbelievable, and it's our name on this, they put up but as I said before, he is, no offence, he's not a bright lad or educated or anything like that,
Yeah,
but
well,
some things he says does border on the retarded.
Oh, yeah.
I've been trying to take in too much information though, that's the problem recently. Well, I said to you last week, I've been like reading more books and what have you, and trying to take in too much, but the problem is, like, even watching telly and that now, Suzanne said to me, stop doing that, stop watching telly late at night and going to bed, because it's making your brain too active. And I'm sort of...
Heaven forbid.
And, I'm trying to get to sleep and I can't, and then when I wake up, she had a go at me the other day, right? Because it was the night after watching The Fat Baby, right? Woke up in the morning, and, she had a go at me because as soon as I woke up, I said, something like, "How can you freeze time?" And she says, "Are you going to say good morning or whatever?"
I'm gonna burst! Just imagine it, right? It's that the sun comes out through the window. Oh, she's Carl's like that, his little head. His eyes open, he goes...
One of those floppy night hats.
How can you freeze time? Oh, God!
But it's because, like, whatever, the night before I might have heard that on the news or whatever, and it's just been sort of whizzing round my head.
Sure.
And, you know, it was a big debate. I think have they found a way of doing it or something?
What are you talking about?
They've done something about freezing time and all that.
See, this isn't information, this is nothing. That is nothing, that. They've done something about freezing time. Imagine Jeremy Paxman coming on, going, well, the issues tonight said something about freezing time. It's, think before you talk.
What I was thinking about is, what is the closest thing sort of living that's nothing?
I don't know what you mean.
What?
What's like the closest, like, do you know at some point something's gone from nothing to something? Hasn't it?
No, I don't understand what you mean.
Something, at some point people were nothing, and then something happened and there was something. Do you know what I mean?
But they were never nothing, were they?
Do you mean what is the first and lowest and most primitive and most simple form of life?
No,
he's right here in this room, Rick.
say like when you look at a stick insect,
right?
You go, right, there's a slight crossover there from a stick to a living thing.
No, it's not.
It didn't used to be a stick.
No, it's not. There's no biological relationship between it and a stick.
But there isn't much difference between the two, is what I mean.
Of course there is.
It's a huge difference.
They just sit there looking like a stick. That's their skill.
Yes, but there's nothing to do with being a stick. It's like camouflage. That's like saying when a soldier puts on combat gear, you're saying he's a cross between a human and a shrub. He's not a cross between a human and a shrub.
No,
is he?
that's man-made
from a distance
stuff.
you can't see him. That's the same as the stick insect.
No, but that isn't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, have you seen them weird things that just look like they sort of look like a leaf?
Yeah, there are insects that have evolved to look like a leaf. So a bird thinks, oh, there's no tea there.
No,
that's not a juicy insect. This is leaf. I don't eat leaves.
Yeah, but at some point, something has had it away with a leaf.
No,
what?
At no point has something had it away with a leaf.
No, to make it look that much like a leaf.
At no point did a beetle shag a leaf. There's nothing on a genetic level or molecular level, anything to do with it having anything to do with a stick or a leaf. It's superficial. It's the way it looks. That's all it. That's like saying chameleons must have mated with green once. They are green.
No, but
it looks like a leaf.
What I don't understand is
it has evolved to blend in perfectly with its surroundings and fool predators.
But then how does it have relationships? It will be going around sort of having it away with a leaf.
No, it won't, because it doesn't know what it looks like. It doesn't matter. They do it with pheromones and attraction, and it's not like a stick insect will be talking to a stick for ages and go, oh, I've wasted my time here. This club's dead. Rude.
I was chatting to her, she was foxy, but she was giving me nothing.
But, Dave, that's not a stick insect, that's a stick.
What are you talking about?
That's a stick. You've been talking to a stick all night.
I can't believe it. I just thought she had a great slim figure.
No, it's actually a real stick. Mott the Hoople, Roll Away the Stone. Classic little ditty on XFM 104.9. Alright?
Play the jingle.
Oh, is it? Brilliant.
Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news, extra!
Well,
is there monkey news?
I tell you what, I've been having a bit of a problem this week.
Why?
It's just been a struggle. Normally, I can come into work on a Monday and there'll be something that's happened over the Saturday, over the Sunday night. Do you know what I mean? Over the weekend, the monkeys have done something. Been very quiet. I thought I'll be alright. Let's see how the week goes on. I don't know if they've caught on to the fact that we're giving this coverage now, or I don't understand. Normally, people are emailing me stuff all the time about monkeys. Been very quiet week. Been checking. I was looking in books last night and stuff.
Is there any monkey news?
I've got some, but just because it's not that good. Something else I found out that I thought I'd share with you.
Go on.
I was looking in the Guinness Book of Records, right? Because I thought they'll have something in there about monkeys or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little monkey. I think it lives in Asia, right? There's loads of them. live in Asia.
Might just be travelling, but yeah.
And something they found out, I don't know if they've got it right, and that's why I want to bring it up. Apparently, it's the mammal, right, that's got sort of the pointiest eyes. Eyes that pop out of their head. Steve. Now, the thing is, right, I thought that's interesting.
Yeah.
Apparently it's the biggest with the sort of goggle eye type thing.
Right, yeah, go on.
Apparently they come out of their head 1.6 centimetres.
1.6 centimetres? What, you mean they protrude?
Yeah. They protrude from the head at 1.6.
Okay.
What? How long?
Have you got a ruler, Rick? 1.6.
He's having a go.
I'd say I'd be a little bit annoyed if the monkeys beat me.
Well, I don't think it has.
That's what I'm hoping.
Is there anything we can... I mean, what's 1.6? Oh, can you...
It's about...
Drop your trousers.
It's, about 3/4 of an inch.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Have they got it right, or what?
Maybe I should come down to Monkey World with you next week.
So anyway, so that's not the monkey news, that's just something that cropped up, and...
Sure.
I do know once, when we were playing pool in the office, I think Lucy was your partner.
Yeah.
It was me and Ash versus you and Lucy, and you were having trouble because his glasses kept slipping down. So Lucy pushed his glasses up his nose, but the glasses touched his eye. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He started it.
Well, you're the one who joined in.
No, I know, and I feel bad now.
Yeah.
He makes me nervous when he goes, yeah. It's like, play a record.
No, I'm just trying to think about which part of your fat, middle-aged physique I can pick on.
The tits would be a good
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
Oh, the belly.
Sure.
Oh, what do you think of that?
Oh, that's... What is that?
Play a record.
Was that monkey news for this week?
Have we not got any other monkey news?
Well, it's just, it hasn't been that good. I mean, the one that I found out here, because we've covered so much in the monkey world, right? The fact that we've done a monkey that was a sort of half man, we've done a monkey that got a decent job in a train station. Can you think of any of the other?
Well, that's just some of the great monkey news from the past.
That's what I mean. So that's what you got to compete with. So even though this is quite amazing,
just tell us.
Another monkey's got married.
Oh, not another monkey getting married.
What do you mean?
It's got another one. You know, it was knocking about with some woman monkey for a bit.
A woman monkey.
They decided to, you know, get married.
Yeah.
They did.
What do you mean they decided to get married?
Was it pressure from her parents?
They had a good do, and
Good do. I love the spread. I love that. Peanut vol-au-vents.
Yeah.
Celebrated in a pub, and then they both went off to the cage at night. That's what I mean. Even though that is quite impressive, because
It's not true. Or it's a joke. It's nothing. It's not.
On an over website, official sort of news website.
2 monkeys have married in Romania. After a whirlwind romance. Well, that's...
After a whirlwind romance.
God, yeah. Yeah, a quick one hanging onto the rope. Yeah. She was in the tyre.
Yeah.
He saw it.
Yeah.
He went, I'll have a go at that. They go, we got to marry her now.
Yeah.
Her parents came and said, did you just shred my
He was in
dog
a zoo
tyre?"
knocking one off. She went, I can do that for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Guests say the monkey bridegroom was scared by the number of people attending the wedding and refused to get out of his cage. But his bride was,
Not bloody Hello Magazine again.
No, it was no. I think it was like last minute nerves.
Right,
like
right,
you know,
legit,
I'm
yeah,
single
second
now.
thoughts.
It's like you know, it's the big step.
Yeah.
But his bride enjoyed every minute of it. She was loving it.
Yeah,
she
sure,
looked lovely, by
sure.
the way. She looked lovely.
Yeah.
The
Did she? Oh,
newspaper
good.
reports she only appeared to have problems with her veil and dress. Do you see? You know, this is
The guests
I hope they didn't ruin it like Anthea Turner and maybe get sort of sponsorship PG Tips or something.
Toasted with strong plum brandy, so they got them drunk as well. So they carried on the celebrations at the pub, and the bride was taken to her new husband's cage at night. I apologise, play a record.
I'll tell you what winds me up.
What?
Monkeys getting married.
I know.
Well, I'm not getting any action, and I got bigger eyes.
But also, right, we were playing football, so I can't play football, right, and so we were playing
Was that just
football.
in the office, or?
Yeah, just in the office before he came, right, and we were sort of kicking it back and forth, and I started kicking it a bit hard, and but he was quite good. I said, this is great, right, and we finished anyway, because we thought we'd break something, and I went, I bet you were quite good at football, weren't you? And I actually thought he looked like quite a natural, I thought he'd be good, he's from the north, and I thought that's all he'd have.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Right? And he went, I said, I suppose you're quite good at football. And he turned, the quickest flash, I went, I've scored once. Right? He said, and that's because I was being chased by a bee. And I went, save it.
Yeah.
He went, no, I said, please save it, because I wanted to see that. No, you can continue now.
Please tell us the rest of the story. You've scored a goal once
Well,
because you're being chased by a bee.
Yeah, you've done it now, really. I was on the,
There must be more to that story, man.
I was in the school team. I wasn't that good as a kid at football, to
Right.
be honest. Mainly down to, I think it's because my dad wasn't into football.
Right.
I think that's the way it works, isn't it? If your dad's into it, then you could be a footballer when you're older.
Sure.
Yep.
Because you're into it. And so I was in the school team because I got on with the other lads. They let me in the team.
Popular guy, yeah.
Sure.
And yeah, I was stood there doing nothing because I didn't really know what to do. I never knew which way I was meant to be shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got all that messed up.
Yeah, that is a
And I just
problem.
stood there, right, and with my hands behind my back, and something landed on me, on like this part of my thumb.
You can't just point, it's radio.
It's this bit here.
Right, yeah.
The
base of
fleshy
your
bit,
thumb,
the
yeah.
fleshy bit of the
Fleshy
thumb,
thumb.
yeah.
And I thought, oh, what's that? And I looked down, and
It
it was
was
a
a
bee.
thumb. Oh, it was a bee,
It
yeah.
was a bee on me. So I start running,
Yeah.
try to get away from it, and bees, actually something interesting about bees, more chance of getting stung by a bee in windy weather than any other sort of weather.
That's incredible.
Anyway, so I'm running away.
And he said there was no more.
Extraordinary. I've already learnt many, many things. You're being chased by the bee, it's
So
windy.
I'm running. and
It's
I
on your
got-
thumb, is it still on your thumb now?
It's sort of gripping onto me like a stag
Clever,
beetle.
clever.
I love it. Oh,
Or a bee!
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm running, and I'm running towards like the goal.
yeah.
Oh god! And the ball comes to me.
Yes.
Wallop, get it in.
Brilliant. What happened to the bee though? Did it sting you?
They die, don't they?
I mean, ultimately it died, sure, but at that particular moment,
I
did
mean,
it sting you?
this was probably about 20 years ago, so I imagine.
No. Once a bee stings
So
you,
did
that's
it sting
Yeah,
you?
but did it sting you?
Yeah.
Right, that was the question.
When did it sting you?
When I was playing football.
Carl, do you mind me asking, you say you're on the school football team. Was there just 11 boys at your school? Was that how you got in the squad?
Listen, Carl. All I mean is, at what point in this story did the bee sting you? Straight away?
After
or
half time.
Play a record, man.
Oh, he's the best!
104.9 in London. XFM.
Wow, here's a bit of a turn up for the books. Karl Pilkington on the line.
Right.
Yeah, where you been?
I'm off ill, aren't I?
Right. Okay, what's the matter with you?
Just a bit bunged up and that, and got the shakes, got that sort of, that shaky thing to get.
Yeah, that's because you didn't eat last time when Suzanne was at work.
Yeah, well I think that's what brought it on, plus she was away in the week and I put some wet jeans on. And I think that's what's caused the problem.
When did you put them on your head?
No, they were just on the maiden and the legs felt dry, but they
Just
were
on the what? On the what? Have you
On
got
the
the maiden? What was she doing there? What do you mean?
On the maiden that you put clothes on.
What? Your clothes horse.
Maiden.
Your clothes horse.
Well, yeah.
Right, okay, so you put wet jeans on, yeah?
So that's why I'm ill and that. I'm
Right.
not having a good time. I've been watching the football.
So you're just sitting at home watching telly where you could have been sitting here?
Well, I would have been better off there because I've got a chair there. I've got no chair at home at the moment because
Why?
I sold it last week.
Why did you sell a chair?
What, you only had
I
one
was
chair?
telling you.
What?
Look, can't we just, I just was calling up to let you know I was alright and that.
We're not interested in that, we want to know about the chair.
I sold it. I had a little two-seater and I sold it because I'm getting a new one, but I've got to wait another month.
So you've got to sit on the floor for
So
a month.
you sold a chair before you had another one?
Well, she might not have wanted to buy it in a month or something. so I got rid of it whilst I could. She was alright, bloody. We'll talk about that next week.
Oh, you're going to be in next week?
I look forward to that then. That's a dynamite piece of radio to tune in for. The day Carl sold a chair.
Brilliant.
Alright. So you alright then? It's going alright?
But why did you take this long to call? We asked you to call since the very beginning. We've been phoning you. Why is your phone switched off?
I heard the beginning. I heard the beginning of the show. I thought, yeah, it's going alright. Did air and stuff. Turned it off.
You turned it off?
No, I put a tape in though, because even though I'm ill, I'm still showing an interest in it.
Well, you're not, if you're watching football and shaking.
Yeah, well, I'll listen back to it later, so I hope you haven't been dissing me.
No.
Right?
Definitely not.
Don't listen back to it, it's not worth it, but we haven't been dissing you, no.
And I've just been watching, a bit of football, right?
Did you watch the Monkey programme last night? You told us to watch the Monkey programme. We all stayed and watched the Monkey programme.
Alright, wasn't it?
What's
rubbish, wasn't it? Obviously not half chimp, half human.
Well, I mean, they missed out a lot of the interesting bits.
They didn't have any interesting bits. Those are bits that you made up to make it more interesting.
The bits that I told you about 3 months ago before they decided to make the programme.
Yeah.
What were the bits that you came up with?
Well, they missed out the bits about, you know, the zookeeper.
Right, there wasn't a zookeeper, yeah, go on.
Well, there was, but they left that bit out.
Well, okay, fine. And they left out the bit where it ran for mayor in 1975.
In terms of those that did research, they actually went and filmed it, you read it on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chances are you're the one with the facts wrong.
Yeah, I think they also left out the bit when it jumped over 3 double-decker buses on a motorbike.
On Evil Knievel's motorbike.
Yeah. So, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Not only do you not bother turning up, but you turn off the radio and start watching football.
Oh, yeah, I turned it off, but I've recorded it. I'll listen back later and sort of...
Well, what good is that?
Sort of, I like to keep, you know, keep it in shape and that. I'll have a word next week.
Alright. If you receive any phone calls from people you don't know, we don't know anything about that. Instantly, we don't know why that is happening. That is just gonna be a weird, spooky thing, so...
And don't bother telling the story about, Men in Black 2 either, because I don't think people will be interested.
Actually, on the subject of Men in Black 2... What?
Have you seen that, Steve?
No, I haven't, Carl. Tell me about it.
You should see it.
Go on. Why?
Because there's this thing in it.
Go on. What, a stupid, bald Mancunian tosser?
No, weirder than that.
There isn't anything weirder than that.
Big eyes, it was gangly.
Keep talking.
You've got to see it, because you wouldn't believe how the likeness and that. You've got to get the film out tonight.
Right.
It's not as weird, it had a normal voice, right?
He's done yet, he's not even here!
I'll tell you what, mate, it ain't worth coming in next week.
Oh, stay on the line, Carl. Play a record player. Kings of Leon, Molly's Chambers. What do you think of that, Carl?
Alright.
There's a surprise.
Oh,
another
I tell you what,
insightful remark.
Steve is not a fan now. Not only does he know you've been slagging him off behind his back.
No, I wasn't slagging Steve. If you get it out on DVD tonight, you'll know I'm not slagging you off. It could be your brother.
I love the fact that it makes it worse, but he's thinking you're gonna go, oh, he wasn't slagging me off. It does look like me. I do think I'm an alien. I love the fact that you hope Steve will go, he's got a point. It's a spitting image. Yeah.
I am, seriously, Carl, I'm really angry. I'm so angry with you at the moment.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, I know, because I know what it's gonna be, and I'm just,
Why?
I'm fuming. I'll tell you why I'm angry, because he doesn't do it in jest.
No, but what do you think it's gonna look like? What do you think this thing's gonna look like?
Gonna look ludicrous. It's not gonna look anything like me, but he's gonna, like, pretend it does. Go on, what? Go on.
No, it does look like you.
Yeah, of course it does. And you looked like the, Human Z.
Well,
I mean, to be honest, you did a bit, Carl. You walk like him, you're bold like him, you got a sort of gormless face like him. Any more?
I don't smoke. That does. I'm not arguing with you, I'm not well on that.
Oh, you're not well.
What exactly is wrong with you, you whinger?
Well, it's just, do you know, like, I always tell you about the, restless leg syndrome I've got. It's like that, but all over.
So you're just shaking around the house?
I'm just, yeah.
What do you look like, Elvis? What are you doing? You're shaking around the house.
I'll tell you, with your bald head, you probably look like an enormous vibrator.
Oh, God.
That's what you probably look like if you strip naked.
Oh, you'll have a Scottish widow coming round. Oh, dear.
That's, what's her name, by the way? I heard you talking about that. That's,
Amanda Lamb.
Amanda Lamb, who's in the Place in the Sun programme.
Is she actually a widow? Is she a Scottish widow?
Hoots, man, my husband's dead. Do you want any money and a bit of my clam?
Brilliant. Alright, that's the sort of, quality you've missed out on today. Well, anyway, you're gonna be back next week. We need you back next week.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know? Also, how did you know you were going to be ill today? Because you phoned and arranged this yesterday.
Convenient.
And I spoke to you yesterday and you didn't sound very ill.
I felt ropey yesterday afternoon.
You've got a bit of a bunged up nose.
Even though I
have a bit of a bunged up
Even though I was ill, I still sorted it out. Yeah?
I'm a little bit sweaty.
Even though I was
Carl,
ill,
sorting it out does not mean you phone up Sturgis and send her down.
That's not sorting it out, that's making things worse. Have you learnt nothing?
Thanks, Claire.
If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Mate.
Yeah. My leg's a little bit achy.
I'm wearing wet jeans.
Oh, I put wet jeans on again. My lasagna it was frozen.
Can you hear the venom and hatred in our voices today? We genuinely are upset and angry with you.
Yeah. Can't believe it. I cannot believe that I mean, oh.
Right, well, the thing is, we'll be back to normal next week, right? We've got Billy Elliot doing the film next week.
Right.
Any prizes?
Got some good stuff.
Have you got any films with Burt Reynolds in to give away on VHS?
And I'll see you then.
Great, we're looking forward to it already.
I'll see you later.
See you later.
So, what happened is, do you know like people do, donor cards?
Mm-hmm.
Someone filled one out saying, if I die, you can have my kidney, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, he died. He said, get the kidney out. They got the kidney out of him. Someone who needed a new kidney, they were like, over the moon, there's a new kidney on the way. But this person who who needed the new kidney had a couple of things.
What?
He wasn't very good at driving.
Yeah.
And he couldn't stand yellow biscuits.
Right.
Couldn't stand yellow biscuits.
Okay.
He just didn't like them. There was something, he didn't know why, he's just never liked them. Anyway, they pop it in, he's having his tests done, he's in hospital for a couple of days, goes home, goes, could do with a yellow biscuit.
What the fuck's a yellow biscuit?
Just a...
Banana baldies. What are you talking about?
Just a yellow biscuit.
Who decides? I like all biscuits except yellow ones. Where is this?
I'm just telling you what happened.
Right.
And
Well,
it
I don't
turned
know
out
why. I don't know what the colour of the biscuit's necessarily got to do with it.
It's like a phobia. It's an odd phobia.
Oh, so he fears the combination of yellowness and biscuitiness.
Right, so a bloke...
He doesn't mind biscuits, I don't mind yellow. Don't ever put them together, that's my worst nightmare!
Can I just make a request? So I'd quite like, if you've got time, to bring back, just for 1 week only, White Van Karl.
Sure.
Because there's some quite interesting topics this week.
Oh, is there things happening in the world?
There's
Because
some
Carl
things
doesn't think
happening.
there is.
No.
There is a light that never goes out.
Well, talking of which, it's a long time since we've had any White Van Karl. For those that don't remember this particular hot feature, we basically ask Karl some of the questions that are asked of a white van driver in the Sun. They always have this on Saturday afternoons. Anyway, here's the first one. And they're not fascinating, Karl, but I'm just interested on your take, really.
Yeah.
What do you make of Cilla Black quitting Blind Date after her husband sent a message from beyond the grave? You familiar with the story?
I didn't know that. What's that?
She went to see a medium, and supposedly her husband passed on information through the medium, which was incredibly vague, but persuaded her to quit live on air.
Well, it's about time, isn't it? If even dead people are saying... enough's enough. But I'll tell you what, though, talking about ghosts and that, do you know how I'm into them?
Yeah.
Right? How weird do you think this is, right?
Well, it's not true. Before you say it, play a record.
No, go on.
Go on.
Right, it's this woman. I don't even know if it's ghost, really. It's just a bit weird.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
There's this woman, and she's not a woman, she's a kid.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
She's walking down, like, a street in her area. It's a nice day and everything. Everything's normal. She's walking down, and a woman comes up, cycling past, right? The woman on the bike looks at the kid, absolutely terrified, right? Got a really scary face on her.
Yeah.
The kid's thinking, why is she doing that?
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, she thinks nothing of it, goes, I think she was playing in the park or whatever, goes and has a nice day. About 15 years later,
Oh, right, yeah.
she's, I don't know, I think she was going to work, right, on a bike,
She was riding her own bike.
riding her own bike, cycling down the road,
Oh, yeah.
looks at the kid. That's the thing that happened, like, 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
It's her on the bike looking at her as a kid.
Right.
What do you
Not another child.
No. So
Right.
it's her, she's seen herself.
Carl? I mean, I don't know where to start.
Firstly, where's this information come from?
But I mean, why do you ever? I mean, I don't know what part of that you think can be true. I don't. I mean, honest. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. What are you talking about?
Bit weird, though, isn't it?
But it's not true.
It didn't happen. Nothing happened like that.
She said it did.
Well,
Who?
then she's wrong.
She said she saw herself.
She saw herself as a kid, didn't she?
Did she carry on riding
And as
up?
an adult when she was a kid.
Did she stop and talk to herself, or did she ride on by and think that's a bit weird? There's me as an 8-year-old. I won't stop. I'll be late for work.
yeah. If I'm late again, the boss said he'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, if,
And where is this information? Did it happen to someone you know?
No,
You overheard it on the bus.
no, it was in the 14 Times.
Ah, right. Well,
Okay.
that's the answer.
Good,
We've
okay.
got to the bottom of that.
right, good, brilliant.
Now, what do you make of David Blunkett accusing gangster rappers of making kids believe guns are cool? It's a hot topic there, Carl, and I imagine you've got some strong opinions.
He's saying what?
He is saying, basically, that all this rap music is advocating gun use and violence against people, and he's very worried about it.
Nah.
Okay,
All right.
what's the next one?
Have you thought about going into politics? Because
better go.
I'll tell you this, they wouldn't be able to argue with you, really, in the Houses of Parliament. They'd have where would they start?
Yeah, my learned fellow is an idiot.
No, but violence has always been about, hasn't it? Like cowboys and Indians, they didn't have PlayStations and Tupac then, and there was still violence.
What do you mean? In the Wild West?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you can't really blame it on stuff. It'll always happen. That's, you know, that's the world, and it's made up of different types and that.
Again, he's right. Again, he's sort of right in a way, in his innocence, in his buffoonery.
I didn't hear what he said.
He just said there's always been violence. You know what I mean? It's sort
Even,
of like,
you know, dinosaurs, look at them. They caused a lot
and
of
then he
trouble.
went too far and made himself sound
No,
like a
but,
fool
but
again.
I'm just saying, it's always happened, it always will.
Yeah.
Don't try and change it.
Yeah, just chill out is what you're saying.
Do you know what we should do? We should all get on our bike, go and find ourselves when we're little, and go. Be careful what you do in life. U2, Electrical Storm. That's great. That's great. I love that. On XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, I want you to tell Steve what you told me in the week about the snake, about the anaconda. How to. Right, this is Karl's method. He's not scared of the anaconda, the 30-foot-long, biggest, scariest snake.
No, you were talking
world.
about stuff, weren't you, about in jungles and that, and animals.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember reading about, say if you're in the jungle, and you get tired and you go to sleep, right, and you sort of wake up and you feel something on your leg, and you look down, and it's an anaconda, right?
Yes.
And it's swallowing your feet, because apparently they always go from the feet up. They never eat you from the head. So
Okay. Shall I save these points to the end? Because that's
Make a list of the points.
Because they always eat head first. Because the way the fur goes, where they have to take a capybara or even a rat, they take it from the head
But
first.
make a point.
Okay,
Make some notes.
Okay, so that's
Rick.
wrong.
We'll come back to
Okay,
this
next,
later.
go on. So they always eat you from the feet. Go on.
So they swallow in your feet, and it said on the website, if you wake up and you see this anaconda doing that, sort of eating away at your feet, don't panic.
Don't panic. I'm just writing this down. Don't panic. Hold on. Okay, go on.
Don't try and kick it off.
Okay.
Just let it sort of swallow you. But only up to your knees.
Okay.
Why not kick it off straight away? Because
I think it sort of gets a bit angry, it starts thrashing about, and it can swallow faster, I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing that bit.
Okay. Just put a question mark by that.
Okay,
there, Rick.
pop a question mark next
So,
to eat
so
knees.
yeah, so it's up-
eat knees. So
it's-
eat it up to your knees.
It's up to your knees,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
what you do is, you get a knife,
Yeah.
Okay.
and you cut
And how do you get a knife? Do you walk over to the kitchen?
I was gonna pop over, get knife. Where's that coming from? Get
Well, you
knife.
always have a knife.
Okay.
Always have a knife, of course you do. Otherwise you're a fool. Always have a knife, okay?
Well, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're gonna go into a jungle,
Always have a knife. Okay.
Always have a knife, yeah.
simple.
Could I just suggest something? You know, suppose you're wearing combat trousers, and the knife is actually in the trousers by the knee, the sort of pocket by the knee. What happens then? I suppose you could still reach in, into the mouth, couldn't you? So anyway, you've got a knife. Let's say you've got a knife. Let's say you've fallen asleep, the anaconda's chewing your feet, you let it eat up to the knees, you've got a knife, what do you do then, Carl?
Right. So it's up to your knees, and what you do, you get your knife that you got out of your pocket earlier, and you cut it at the mouth, right? Do you know, like, either side of the lips?
Right.
So you're sort of cutting it in half.
Right, like a Chelsea smile.
And it can't, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It can't do anything. It wasn't ready for that. It can't move about because it's got, like, your legs in its mouth. And peel it off and walk away.
Okay. My main point, really, is this, Carl. Never will an anaconda or any constrictor, python, boa constrictor, just start eating a sleeping man. He will crush you to death first. That's why they're called constrictors. They're not called gobblers, are they? Or holy swallowers. They're called constrictors. Why would he start eating something? Is that how they take down antelope? Just start chewing their leg? Oh, it's gone off. I'll tell you what, lads. They get together. This next one there said, I'll tell you what, we're losing a lot of prey by just living at their ankles. They're running away. Let's crush them to death first so they can't move, then we can swallow them. You're a fool.
So anyway, right, so I was telling him this bit of information because we started a feature last week. Well, week before.
Sorry, Carl, can we just go back to the crushing you to death first?
Yeah, but, well, I read it.
He's won there. He's beating you there, Rick.
Okay. Did it say what to do if it starts crushing you to death first? No. Did it say what to do? Supposing it had this meeting, and it started crushing you, and you woke up and it was actually round your chest. And every time you tried to take a breath and breathed out a little bit, it just tightened its grip, because it can feel that. What'd you do then?
You sort of tighten yourself up anyway, because I've read about that.
Yeah.
If one does start wrapping around you, you sort of make yourself into a ball, first of all, and it'll wrap around you, but it's alright because you're protecting your lungs, so it can't crush you, and then you just sort of shout for help. And you
shout for help with this 30-foot snake. Do you know how it works? It gets as tight as it can, it can feel as tight as it can, right, with these huge muscles, right? Yep. Right? When you leave a bit of breath out, it tightens again.
You won't be that out of breath, you haven't been running anywhere, so you can just go...
What, and when do you get the new mouthful of oxygen?
Just breathe very slowly, like you do...
How? Do you know what breathing is? Do you know what breathing is? It's extending your rib cage, right, intercostal muscles between the ribs, contract like that, okay, making the rib cage expand, which pulls air in through, it's like a bellow. That you can't just breathe via the mind. It's a physical process. It's your rib cage pulling over.
Maybe I'm special, but I can do little breaths without my rib cage.
Play a record, Steve.
You're special.
Play a record. No. You can't take little breaths without moving your rib cage.
Can I just give you the titles, because we're running out of time, we've got a competition to do.
Okay, alright, let's just leave the anaconda discussion. Why don't you agree to disagree, and we'll see who survives if you crash land in the jungle.
Muse, Plug-in Baby on XFM 104.9.
Rick,
Gervais, go on.
Well, yeah, but I know you guys are laughing about the height thing, and for those that have only just tuned in, I am 6'7" tall, which is tall and that's big, and I pride myself on it in a way. I've worked hard, I've not smoked, I ate well,
Yeah.
It's an accomplishment, but obviously I didn't have much involvement in it, I just am, and it's a curse because mainly the problem is that you can't get stuff, you can't get clothes, you can't get shoes,
Yeah.
Size
14 feet.
Yeah, but it is genuine, and I don't know, I mean, it costs a lot to buy a pair of size 14 shoes, and if you were genuinely poor, I don't know how you'd afford to be tall, because the clothing costs more, everything costs more.
I've seen this in comics, that you'd actually go to school in a barrel.
Wearing a barrel.
With just braces, it'd just be a barrel, and you'd have sort of flip flip-flops, and you'd take a mule with you. They all had a mule, didn't they? The
But
poor
people always think like you'll be in a pub or something, and people just think they can talk to you about it. They just think, hey, oh, you lanky, it's just like, because it's like they
But that really annoys you, doesn't it?
Well, it annoys me because it's like they think I should be proud of it. Like,
well, exactly, but they don't think that this is not a disadvantage. This is not a disability, is it? You're taller than most people. It might get
disability.
No. If you were 8'3", it'd be slightly debilitating. You would, but
Debilitating?
What?
Debilitating? Yeah. No, you're a medical man, aren't you? But no, the point is, it's a debilitating because when you go on public transport, like if you're on a coach.
Yeah.
The only place I can sit on a coach is that seat
on the driver's lap.
Either on the driver's lap or that seat at the very end.
Yeah.
Which sits into the aisle.
Yeah.
That's the only place I can.
Well,
sit.
you stand up,
some sort of kids at the back waving at drivers.
You could drive it from the back.
Here he comes. Watch it.
Were you a tall baby? Or
Mr. and Mrs. Merchant, you've given birth to a basketball player. Look at his dribble already. Were you a tall baby? Babies aren't tall.
At what point did you suddenly, like, Jesus, nothing fits me?
Well, it didn't happen overnight, Carl.
Let's do a little graph. How tall were you at 5?
Oh, I don't know. 3 foot?
3 foot. How tall were you at 12?
6 foot.
6. Were you really?
I don't know, do I? How do I remember? I don't remember this.
Well, when did teachers start calling you freak boy and lanky?
They didn't. It wasn't so much. It was no.
You went to a funny school. I went bowling with him once. I'd never been bowling before, and he'd been once before. And he went, "Let's go to this bowl." We went to a bowling alley, right? And you have to wear these special shoes. Now they're sort of like pointed things anyway, and they're multicoloured, sort of red and green. They look pretty weird. And the woman said to me, "Oh, what size?" I said, "Oh, 8." She went, "Yeah." "What size are you?" He went, 14. She went, 14. He went, "You probably haven't got them." She goes, "Yeah, I think we have got one pair." And she put them on the table, and it was like Krusty the Clown. And I just started laughing. They looked so long, and he had to run round this bowling alley in these freaky clown shoes.
But they don't look freaky clown like when I'm wearing them, because the rest of me's in proportion to it.
Just sometimes people have to die, don't they? There was a fella outside our house who hit a lamppost. He had a helmet on, but his head come off.
You made me laugh at a man's head coming off because the way you said it.
But that's the thing.
he had a, oh God! There's a man outside in a house. He had a lamppost, he had a helmet on, but his head come off.
So you're saying that because in that one instance, the helmet did not save his life?
His head was in great condition. It's just not attached to his body. And that's what I'm saying to you. Sometimes people have to die.